Most anyone who's worked in an office setting with cubicles and an idiot boss can relate to the comic strip Dilbert, created by Scott Adams. Now Adams has some advice for all of us in a new book about how to get outside our bubble and become a respected thinker. The book is Loserthink: How Untrained Brains Are Ruining America. Lisa Fletcher sat down with Adams in California.
Describe the meaning of the title.
So loserthink is a word I made up, and it refers to the fact that we all have these blank spots in our mental model. So for example, if you'd never been an economist, you might not know how they think about things, or how scientists do, or psychologists, historians, artists. I'm not saying that some people are smart and some people are not smart. Nothing to do with that. It's just whether you've been exposed to the way people think in the different domains. Some of the examples of loserthink are people using analogies to predict. Hey, this is my exaggerated example. Hey, my cat has markings under its snout that looks like Hitler's mustache, so my cat's going to invade Poland. It doesn't work that way. Now you say, okay, that's a stupid example because nobody would think that way. But then you look at the news, and people are saying, hey, President Trump is criticizing the press. Who else does that? Dictators. Next thing you know, he's going full dictator. But it doesn't really work that way, because that makes you think past the sale. The sale is, has the press reached a point where having your leader criticize them is actually what you would want? I would argue yes. We've reached that point where he's got free speech, they've got free speech, he can say what he wants, because they've crossed a line in many cases. So that's an example. Don't use analogies to make predictions.
Is loserthink a new phenomenon unlocked by social media, or is this something we've been dealing with for forever?
We've dealt with it forever, but it seems more because of social media. And I talk about the technological change that changed everything. It ruined everything, really. And it was the ability for the media, social media and the news, to measure with precision who's clicking what. Fake news will get more clicks than real news. So the business model forces us into a state of sort of fight or flight. You know, our bodies are all cranked up, our hair's on fire over everything.
If you had to pick out one favorite section or chapter of the book, what is it?
Well, I like the part about ego. So I talk about how to get out of ego jail. Now, the mistake is to think of your ego as who you are. Oh, my ego is me. I'm going to protect it. That is pure loserthink. The trick is that if you put yourself in the position where you do embarrass yourself intentionally, you know, give a speech, maybe you're not that prepared, ask somebody out, you get turned down, take it all. And just wake up the next morning and see if your coffee tastes the same. It does.
All right, so you are the creator of one of the most successful comic strips of all time, beloved Dilbert. Can you tell us something that maybe your audience and your fans didn't know or doesn't know about Dilbert?
All right, here's a little trivia. Dogbert's original name was not Dogbert. He was the companion to Dilbert, and before he was syndicated, his name was Dildog. And I think you know why I changed it. Yeah. So that's a little trivia that some people know, but not too many.
And now you know too. One more piece of advice from Adams to avoid loserthink: don't try to read minds. Adams says we too often incorrectly assume what other people are thinking.